All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. It is a brisk night here in Huntington. Some cold, some not cold enough, but it's brisk. It is a brisk night out here, and we'll begin with a responsive reading on. Let me see what one. Let's try page 6. 6 in the middle. Page 6 in the middle. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cared.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be stumbling block to the young foot.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May the synagogue be all in the doorway of painful life.
All right, let's jump ahead to page 20. Page 20, and we'll start with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, brought to us by the mystics in the holy city of Sfat in the Galil, a really beautiful part of Israel. Page 20, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem tiferet v'li tila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, Me'rosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumiti mitochafecha, Rav lahak shevet b'yemecha b'cha, V'hu yachamol alayich hemla, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Itnahari me'afar kumi, Lipshi bigdei tifartecha mi, Al yad b'nishai v'talachmi, Korva el nafshi ge'ala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Hitorari, Kiva ore kumi uri, Shir daveri, Kvod Adonai alayich nigla, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Lo tevoshi v'lo tikomi, Ma tishtochachi ma tehemi, B'achyechesu aniyei ami, V'nihi b'netayir al tila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, V'hayu l'shimsa shohosaich, V'rahacha kuhu kol mevalayich, Yasis alayich Elohaich, Ki himsos chatan al kala, Lecha likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Yamin u'smod tihi frotzi, V'et Adonai taritzi, Al yahadish ben partzi, V'nihi smecha v'nagila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha ufsohola, Toch emunei Am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat chala, pnei Shabbat nekabedla. Page 22, let's read in English some verses from Psalm 92. The outdated paragraph in English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yiskeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzvot Eloheinu yafrichu. O Jeduvun deseva, deshenim vera'ananim, iyu lehagid, ki ashar Adonai, tsuri velo avlatavo. Page 20, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Please rise, page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. May be seated. Let's read on 147 together in English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding work. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. 148, let's read in English in the middle of the page, responsively. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world.
Each age we are shout our ancient teachings. At each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוקבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 151, let's read responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that one salutes our grasses and perfection evil of man.
Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come?
When we remember what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn God's presence in each time and event. So we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder ba'kodesh, nohora tehilot, nohu sefer malchutecha ra'u panecha, vokea milifnei Moshe, ze li anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch ve'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי פדלנה את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 153 at the top. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shoreinu lechayim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shoreinu lechayim. And together in English, give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154 at the top. Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריאת עולם. Please rise, page 155, as we begin the Amidah. Adonai sivatai tiftach, ufiyahi tehilatecha. Adonai sivatai tiftach, ufiyahi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור הנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, Magin Abraham, Yisrat Sarah, Atagi Bornil Maladunai, Mechayim Itimat Tarab Lahoshia, Mashiv Harua, Umorid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayim Etim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Loflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Hasurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bagivurov, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayem, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'chayot veitim. Baruch atah Adonai, b'chayei hanetzim. Let's turn to the middle of page 160 and let's read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Page 163, a little bit of hoda'ah, a little bit of thanksgiving. Let's read responsibly. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength of our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
And 164 we'll close out with a prayer for peace. Shalom Grahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Grahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Praise are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. Page 253 in the middle, one of our many prayers for healing. This one is known as Misha Berach. Middle of 253. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha la'avotenu. Witness those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258 and 259, prayers of our community. Ed, how about the prayer for the congregation? 258? 258.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love the Torah, devotion and prayer, and support for the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. Those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our all efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levacha b'yirah na'avod. David Blake, how about the prayer for our country?
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Shalom, Shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, Avayah. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashmaim, Sur Yisrael, V'Goalo, Barech Epidinat Yisrael, Reishit Smichat Gulatenu. Again, Aleha B'Yavrat Chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha V'Amitecha L'Rasheha, So'eha V'Yotzeha, V'Takneim Be'etza Tova Milfanecha, V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'Simchat Olam Neyoshveha, V'Namar, Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. This week we are at Parshat Toldot. It focuses on Isaac, on Yitzchak, and we're going to see some of the usual tropes that we've been looking at and some new ones. Rivka has a difficulty conceiving, and this is a trope in all of the stories that affect Abraham. Abraham and Sarah have difficulty conceiving, Yitzchak and Rivka, and later on Leah herself, or I'm sorry, Rachel, Leah, if Jacob looks at her, she gets pregnant. But with Rachel, it's tough. But Rivka finally does become pregnant, and it's a difficult pregnancy. And apparently she's having twins, and they're battling nations within her. And she calls out, Im Cain, Lama ze Anochi, right? If this is how it's going to be, why me? Right? She's just at the end of her tether. And Yitzchak come and prays for her and on her behalf. Now, this is the first time any husband in the Torah, and it might be the only time any husband in the Torah prays on behalf of his wife. And it seems, according to the commentators, that Yitzchak doesn't view it as just her problem, but also his. She has twins. The Bechor, the firstborn, is Esav, and he comes out hairy with a hairy mantle, a thick red hairy covering, and hence his name. And Yaakov then comes out. He's the younger, and he gets his name because he grabs his brother's heel and tries to pull him back into the womb so that Yaakov could become firstborn. Esav grows up and he becomes a hunter, an Ish Tzadeh, a man of the field. And Yaakov becomes Ish Ohalim. He becomes a man of the tents. And, there are two distinctions there. One is an outdoorsman. The other one is likes to hang around in the tents and listen to the gossip. And there's a rivalry. And it's not just between the brothers. It's between the parents and their children. We're told that Yitzchak loves Esav, while Rivka, loves Yaakov. And so, this is going to be something that, we're revisiting this because there was some tension between Yishmael and Yitzchak, and now there's going to be some tension between Yaakov and Esav. One of the main stories in this week's parsha, it revolves around the birthright. This normally goes to the Bechor, goes to the firstborn, and it's not a simple story because Esav winds up getting vilified and made into he gets a bad reputation because he sells his birthright. He comes in hunting from the field, and he says he's starving near death. And Yaakov says, "Oh, all right, well, I'll give you, I have some soup. And if you trade me your birthright, I'll trade you the soup." And Esav says, I'm going to die anyway. Why do I need a birthright? And of course, the rabbis fall all over him about that. But the fact of the matter is that Esav doesn't need the birthright. The birthright comes with property. And Esav, as a man of the field, doesn't want to have that kind of property. So Yaakov wants it. He wants the tents. He wants the herds. He wants all of that stuff. And Esav says, well, if I don't get food soon, I'm going to die. So he sells it. And modern readers have a tough time with this story because they wonder, how could Esav think that he was going to die? He just went out hunting and he came back. Well, and today men and women go out at the crack of dawn and then come back at sunset and feel that they have changed the world in a way. Hunters back, 2,000-3,000 years ago would go out for not days, but weeks at a time. And if they were unsuccessful, they were close to starving when they came home. And so it's not too far of a leap to realize that Esav did not have a successful hunt. And he probably was close to death. We have a famine again. And Yitzchak visits with Avimelech, whom his father had visited back a couple of parshiot, and he convinces Rivka to pretend that she is his sister. Right now, this is the third time we're hearing this story, and yet each story changes a little bit. The first story between Abraham and Sarah, he gives her to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh rapes her. The second time, it's with Abimelech, and before Abimelech can lay a hand on her, he has a dream in which God tells him, this is a married woman, do not touch. And the third time, with Isaac and Rebekah, is that Abimelech sees them canoodling on the bench and says, we don't do that kind of stuff here with our sisters, so I'm betting she's not your sister. She's probably your wife. They live amongst the Philistines. Again, these are the same Philistines that become our sworn enemies later on. Isaac becomes too powerful, something that later on in the Torah, Pharaoh was going to worry about. And he leaves, and he makes peace between himself and the Philistines. Now we come to the end of Isaac's life. He only gets one real parsha to himself. And the blessing. This is where the father says to his oldest son, yeah, you're all right, kid. I like you, and go and be well. And this gets stolen from Esav. He's tricked by Rivka, his mother, and by his younger brother, Yaakov. And again, this is a heartbreaking story because this is what Esav really wanted. He didn't need the birthright, but he wanted the bracha. He wanted the blessing. And the rabbis use this again to vilify Esav. And in order to save Esav's life, or to keep his brother from laying a serious beating on him, Yaakov is sent to Lavan. You remember Lavan as Rivka's brother. And there Yaakov is going to learn a very, very hard lesson about, don't try to con everybody, because at one point you're going to realize that you're being conned. At the age of 40, Esav marries 2 Hittite women, and this seems to upset his parents a great deal. And then he takes a third wife, and her name is Mochalat, and it's his first cousin. And she is the daughter of Ishmael. She is the daughter of Ishmael. So the stories remain intertwined a little bit. And that's our Torah portion in a nutshell for this week. It's interesting that I'm going to talk about this after Thanksgiving, because one of what I'm going to discuss has me justified in saying just about every day that I am glad I am not a Texan. You know, you could be grateful for some things, and I'm glad that I'm not from Texas.
Yeah.
And it's one of the many things for which I'm grateful. On November 22nd, just last week, the Texas State Board of Education voted 8-7 to approve a new public school curriculum called Bluebonnet Learning. And this includes a serious amount of Christian lessons or Christian theology from the Bible. All right, so not so much about the Jews, but a lot of Christian information. The first round of discussions of this curriculum, a lot of the people who were against it found very much very serious offensive language and material. A lot of it was proselytizing, telling the children that they had to accept Jesus or they were going to go to hell. Didn't treat the Jews at all well. Imagine that, color me shocked. And the critics say that most of their specific suggestions have been accepted, but they are still concerned. The curriculum, according to them, was still not balanced, whatever that means. And because it was filled with Christian concepts, pretty much ignoring any other religion in the world. And the Christian concepts of resurrection and the blood of Christ and the idea of the Messiah, both all in caps there, were central to this curriculum. One biblical scholar says, for what it's supposed to do, it's biblically illiterate, right? It's one-sided and comes out as nothing more than proselytizing. Now, for me, the Bible is a book which is very, very rich in story, some history, but not the kind of history that we're used to reading, and ethics. And it has been a very influential book in Western society. And I think we should know a lot about it. And I think kids in school should learn about it. It's an open window to American history, right? The Puritans came here, the Pilgrims came here, the Founding Fathers tried to establish a nation, not a Christian nation, but a nation that was ethical and filled with understanding of the teachings that came out of the Bible. You just have to look at some of the place names, especially in the Northeast, Massachusetts, New York, and Pennsylvania, and place names. Salem comes from Jerusalem, Bethel, Bethlehem, Canaan, New Canaan, Sharon, Jericho. These are all city names or town names in the Northeast, and they all come from the Bible. And while I think students should know it and be exposed to it, it's not the role of educators to teach young people to believe in the Bible. That's for synagogues and churches and mosques and parents and religious teachers. It's not the job of a public school teacher. And so I think the Bible should be taught to everyone as literature. You need to know it as well as you know Shakespeare, right? Because it influenced all of literature. It influenced a lot of philosophy. It influenced a lot of American history, whether it was interpreted or misinterpreted. It's still a serious book that we need to pay attention to. I think if you use the right stories, if you attack it from the right way, the Bible can be a book used to ignite imagination. Could be used to get the kids thinking outside the boxes, get them away from their screens and make them think a little bit. And so, a couple of things that I think should be taught. In Genesis, let us make humans in our image. What does that mean? Does it mean God has brown hair, brown eyes, and a beard? Or God is white? Or God is Hispanic? What does it say?
We just all have that spark.
Well, that's why kids should learn and discuss it. Love your neighbor. talking about setting up a just and fair society. Love your neighbor.
I kind of like the Jesus teaching. Shaw, in one of his writings, said that might be a little bit off because sometimes you may not be on good terms with yourself.
Right, so that's true, but
so you need also to be grounded into
Yep.
into a little bit of love for oneself.
Yeah, but there's only two commands in the Torah to love. One is to love God, and one is to love your neighbor. And then we have all that stuff about protecting the widow, the orphan, the immigrant, or the stranger, right? I think kids, especially in today's political climate, should be thinking about things like that. What does that mean? What does it mean to be able to take care of the widow, the orphan, and the immigrant? Does it mean that we have to take care of them physically, or do we just say, oh yeah, there are immigrants here, and God bless them and God help them, but they're not my problem. So I think when kids get introduced to that kind of thinking from the Bible, it's very different than reading the Christian Bible and hearing a teacher say, well, you have to believe this, or you're going to go to a very, very bad place when you die. I don't know. But the Bible should not be taught as dogma or doctrine at the elementary and the high school level. There are 4 questions that, or 3 questions, the potential exam questions that might be on exams given by that curriculum. One is, name the 4 Gospels in order. What has that got to do with anything? Fill in the blank. You are saved by the blood of, in Yom Kippur, we could say the blood of an ox, but that's not what they're looking for. No one comes to the Father except through, right? That's the kind of question that they're supposed to be answering. This is biblical knowledge, although it's very, very, very slanted towards Christianity. And, we don't need to indoctrinate our students religiously when they go to school.
Amen.
And we need to be aware of what's going on. It hasn't come up this far north yet, but I'm worried that it just might. However,
bad precedent.
yeah, I'm a little worried, but right now it's only one place in Texas, and they keep talking about seceding, and God help them if they do. All right, friends. What's the matter, David?
I'm just laughing.
At Texas seceding? Yeah, when will they get their power? Oh, no, they're not on the national grid. The people will freeze.
There you go.
But, all right, let's have a little kiddush. Let's have a little kiddush for Friday night. Vayehi erev vayivoker yom hashishi. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzeva. Vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa. Vayishpot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa. Vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi vayikadesh oto. Kivo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Safri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagaften. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava v'ratzon, inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh. Zecher letziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'acharta, V'yotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, V'shabbat kodshecha, V'ahava uvratzon, Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashem. Let's continue on page 282. Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tei kedula liotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot hadam ha, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamhonam, v'anachnu korim, Umishtahavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'Moshe b'karo b'shamayim mimahal u'shchinatu zo v'govhei meheromi u'Eloheinu einod Emet Malkeinu Efesulato, Kakatu V'Torato, V'yadata Hayom V'Hashevota, Elevamecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim Mimal, V'Al Haaretz, V'Hikach Einod. Kakatu b'toratecha na'im loch le'olam va'en v'ne'emor v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. This week we observed the following yard sites: Joanne Gellin, wife of Ed, mother of Jessica; John Loudfoot, relative of Beryl Crandon; Dewey Murphy Sr., Scott's grandfather; Peggy Lewis, Walter Jr.'s wife, Debbie and Walt's mother; Samson Finn, Mina Poland's father, grandfather of Ron; Myrtle Friedman, Morris's wife; Isidore Glick, David's uncle; Enid Neufeld, Mark's mother; Jean Stern, daughter of Walter and Bernice, sister of Marcia, Kathy, and Wendy; Golda Hershkovitz Stern, grandmother of Diane Shaddles; Louise Klein, friend of Ida Strauss; Robert Cohen, Eve Feinberg's brother; Douglas Schneid, Tori Witcher's nephew, son of Tori's sister, Donna; Leslie Schneid, Tori Witcher's niece; Nicholas Hyman, friend or relative of Bernard Cohen; Stephen Jacobson, Paul's father; Benjamin Lazar, Maxine Frankel's father; Mike Meyer, Joan Weisberg's uncle; Jerry Rosenberg, Cheryl Hirsch's and Susie Brodoff's uncle. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they always rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yiruted v'amlik malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'me'el maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu. Le'elam yinkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiram b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. Just a couple of quick announcements. Services tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and then again on Sunday at 9 a.m. No classes this Sunday, but next Sunday, a week from Sunday, we'll be starting our Siddur and prayer class. And so please watch out for an email. If you've ever wanted to know when to say Amen or when not to say Amen, when to stop, stand or not, when to bow or not, this will be the class for you. We're going to open up the Siddur and hopefully uncover many of its mysteries. And so no Hebrews required. And please RSVP because we're going to have handouts and they're going to be significant in length. And so we want to make sure that we have enough for people who are coming to learn with us. Is it December 15th is the
Right.
Yes.
December 15th is the congregational meeting. That's a Sunday afternoon. It's later in the day. You'll get an email if you haven't already. And then on December 20th, save that weekend because Cantor Beth is going to be in town. And we have all sorts of fun events. There'll be a tiny human Shabbat on Friday night, a musical Shabbat Friday evening service. Saturday morning, we'll have Torah and a lunch and learn, services and a lunch and learn. Saturday night, we'll have an evening of entertainment and of live music and other entertainment. And then on Sunday, we will have a Hanukkah program for families. And so you gotta reserve or let us know you're coming because there's going to be a lot of food involved. And so the save the date went out, and you'll get another one sometime either this week or next week with more details. And that's about it for right now. Yeah. Hanukkah's coming, but that's not until the end of the month. But so right now there's a lot going on, and I hope to see you here for as much as you want to be for. All right, we'll close out on 3:21. Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefsot Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nivra B'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nohora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yihye B'tifara V'hu Echad Ein Sheni Lam Shilo Lahach Bihira V'li Reshit V'li Tachlit V'lo Haos V'hamisra V'hu Eli V'chai Govali V'tzorchev Li B'yeit Sahara V'hu Nisi Umanosli Menat Kosi B'yomekra B'yahado Afkid Ruchi B'yeit Ishan B'yahira V'im Ruchi B'yati Adonai Li V'lo Yira. All right, let's see who says hello to us via the intertubes. Hi, Mom. Yeah. Oh! We have here Donnell Horn. Shabbat Shalom. Stay warm. Thank you, Donnell. Same to you. Donna Wilson. Shabbat Shalom to all. Just heard there will be 1 to 3 accumulation of snow overnight. Overnight and by tomorrow night. Burr, yes. Probably be beautiful, as always, yes. But everyone stay safe and warm. All right, Donna. Same to you. There's Mom. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's mom and Cliff from a bitter cold PA. Stay warm and safe. We will. And David says hi. And there's Judith. Shabbat Shalom. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you, Judith. I did, and I hope everyone else did as well. All right, friends. We'll be back here tomorrow. But in the meantime, enjoy Shabbat. Don't get too cold. And Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and everyone, please be careful out there.
They had a lot of snow up here. They had a lot of lake weather.
They have 5 inches of stuff.